It was an unbelievable team effort that day in Cheltenham. I'll never forget it. That day, it was about saving the horse's life.
Edwulf was travelling very well in the race. He was in contention, and very shortly after the race, his action went, and the jockey realised straight away something was wrong.
We were pretty excited about his potential prospects. He decided that the 4-miler at the time was the right race for him. He went there with what we thought was a real life chance.
Well, he's the kindest horse you could ever ride. The first time I worked him, I said to Joseph, I said, this is a nice horse, but I didn't know how good he was going to be, but he just kept improving day by day. Well, it started a normal day.
We obviously went there with pretty high expectations from Edwulf.
Derek got on him. Myself, Jim O'Brien and Tina went down to the last fence. Everything was going perfect. He just jumped the second last and something wasn't right. And then he fell out over the last. And then he went about half a furlong up the track and collapsed.
I was actually watching the race on the track, so I was over to him pretty quickly.
Everybody was throwing buckets of water on him. But I just froze, I couldn't.
I have to say that, you know, the veterinary team on the day really were outstanding.
We want a vet and assistance to the vet with the horse within 1 minute of the incident happening. Henry Tremaine and Dave Chalkley, who were positioned on that stretch of the track, were there within seconds. The horse had a very erratic heart rate, high temperature.
It felt like 2-3 hours he was down. Mr. McManus, everybody was down there.
We are given as much time as we require with any horse. The welfare of any horse that's down comes first. All the medication that was required that we could give on site was given, and then it was a matter of getting the horse moved to a place where we could keep him for as long as required.
He went to 3 counties directly from the track. He was there for a number of weeks. The team there looked after him incredibly well.
Over the following number of days, a full recovery was made, which was fantastic, and then eventually he was shipped home back to Ireland.
He came back here and every day we took him out, we didn't want to leave him out in the field until we knew that he was 100% right. So we took him out every day for a pick of grass on the lead.
Me, my wife and my child went down to see him. It was lovely. And I brought him a big bag of carrots and he came straight over. And you could tell he was same Edwulf.
Sure, we've great staff here, and they really love the horses. And sure, Mr. McManus himself is stone mad about him. They're like part of the family to him, so all the staff here mind him like that, you know.
The second he came back into training, his enthusiasm, and if anything, he was training better than what he had done earlier in his career. Yeah, he went through just about every check you can do, you know, just to make sure that we were kind of being proactive. The Irish Gold Cup then was his next target.
And they're off and running in the Unibet Irish Gold Cup.
Derek gave him the most wonderful ride on the day. I think he was 100 to 1 or close enough to it on the day, and we did hope that he could maybe run top 3 or 4.
Seen him coming, a big jump, and he moved into about 3rd or 4th.
Manila Rocco was also a faller outlander. Edwulf putting in a tremendous bid towards the near side for Derek O'Connor.
Oh, couldn't believe it.
It's going to be Edwulf who win the Unibet Gold Cup.
That day, it was about saving the horse's life. It wasn't that he might someday win a big Grade 1 race. It was just all about the horse. Full marks to everybody that day. I often think about it and the efforts they put in.
We thought when we saw him on the ground in Cheltenham that we mightn't see him in a racecourse ever again, or even see him again.
An incredible day for me personally, for Derek, but I mean, there's an awful lot of people who have to get an awful lot of credit for that and can be immensely proud of themselves and the work that was, you know, put into the horse in his recovery immediately from, you know, 3 counties through Martinstown to coming back to his training here. There's a lot of people who deserve a lot of credit and, you know, can be and I'm sure are immensely proud of the work that they did with him.